It's a wee Wario!
Hey cats and welcome to Kart. You know, Nintendo's being really annoying at the moment. Like, what's this, a Nintendo Switch OLED? A Nintendo Switch with a bigger screen and a better kickstand. Hello! These are features that should have been added to the Nintendo Switch Lite. Most people I know that have an original Nintendo Switch, which does not include me, play in dock mode, so there's literally no reason to add those features to the Nintendo Switch OLED. And what's this? Nintendo wants me to pay $109 for Nintendo 64 and Genesis games? Can somebody please tell Nintendo what a dolphin is? Because dolphins can implement cheat codes and play fan games. Stuff that Nintendo Switch Online can't do. And they can emulate games actually well. But hey, do you know Nintendo was lying about stuff and getting people upset even before this? Like in 2006 where they lied about the Wii. Nintendo says they made the Wii, when obviously that's not true, because Wario actually made it. He went to a temple to find an ancient Wii remote, and then he made an epic microgame collection to launch as a console. And honestly, the boss microgames in that collection range from way too easy to brutally difficult. So today I thought I would rank all of them from easiest to hardest. So here's the top 10 hardest warioware boss minigames. I'm a big fan of the first boss game in warioware Smooth Moves, named Biggest Fan. Trust me, pretty much every boss game in this game is a bad pun. For this boss game, you use a remote control, and then you pretty much just swing the remote around. Yeah, that's literally all this micro game is. Okay, for the second and third level, it's kind of hard to destroy the robot because of the timing, but it's really not that hard. And really, the only reason I died in the second and third level is just because I'm bad at the game. And also, sorry if I called these micro games. They're not really micro games unlike every other game in these collections, but they're still in a micro game collection, so whatever. I love the fact that in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Ashley's considered a legendary spirit. But yet she is one of the easiest boss games in warioware Smooth Moves. All you do in this micro game is put your Wii remote down, like you actually put your Wii remote down onto a hard surface. Then you wait for Ashley to put fish and vegetables into your hamburger. Ugh. Especially the vegetable part. Ugh. Then you pick up your Wii remote, and hey presto, you've got yourself a delicious 5-star hamburger. Yeah, very intimidating actually. Well, really scared of the hamburger. You're such a great witch. You might think this is easier than the last one, but here's the thing, it can be really confusing if you pick up the hamburger or just leave it. So that's why I think this boss game is a bit harder than Wario's. Do you remember the Punch-Out boss game from the original WarioWare? Or Gold? Once Oblion's boss battle is basically just this, but on newer hardware, and it's the only boss micro game to use a nunchuck. And although it's not the final boss battle, it's technically the last boss in the game, so you think it'll be pretty hard. Well, it's not. You just block this guy's moves, and when he tries to punch you, you just punch him up. And there's literally no challenge. Well, at least for the first level, there's a bit of challenge in the second and third, But let's be real, you're not gonna die by the opponents in the second and third level. Also, I'm not the only one who thinks this looks a lot like Matt. Am I? Come on, this looks a lot like Matt. Well, at least if Matt wasn't a me, he would look exactly like this. At number 7, we've got one of the few micro games that has a sensible name. Cricket's Steady Now micro game / boss game. I don't know why I keep saying micro game, but whatever. For this boss game, you need to use the remote post called waiter, and then you need to catch some blocks. But here's the thing, this isn't Tetris. If the block's too near to the edge, then it'll just fall off. And at the end of each of the rounds, you have to wait 5 seconds, so you better make sure your platform's stable. I also love the fact that the platform's a Wii remote. I love how much warioware breaks the fourth rule. But anyway, let's move on to the actually hard boss games. At number 6, we've got the boss game with the most bland title. Because it's just called Star Fox. Like, seriously, couldn't you come up with a better name? Ugh. First thing, Intelligent Studios? Where on earth is the Super Smash Bros. Micro game? There's not even one in Get It Together! Come on, it's like one of Nintendo's best-selling franchises. I mean, I guess Pokemon also needs a micro game, but who cares about Pokemon? Yeah, Super Smash Bros. Needs a micro game. But anyway, 9 and 18 volts boss game is pretty cool. Basically, you are just playing Star Fox. Well, until the end of the boss stage, that is, but we'll get to that later. You tilt the Wii remote to steer, and you need to avoid a bunch of obstacles, and press A or B to shoot enemies. But when you're at the end, things get really cool. Because at the end, you fight a Rob with a NES Zapper. That is literally the coolest boss idea ever. You need to hit the buttons or whatever they are to kill Rob. This might seem hard, but it's really not. I think they could have upped the difficulty by only allowing you to take 3 hits. But as it is now, you have way too much HP. Also, does the 3rd level remind you anybody of Lego Star Wars? Yeah, that's probably just me. At number 5, we've got Alice's and Anna's boss micro game. Oh wait, I forgot. Frozen is just a bad rip of a Super Mario Galaxy. Can we redo that? At number 5, we've got bad rip of Rosalina and Anna's boss micro game. The controls for this is a lot like Mario Kart Wii, but none of the buttons do anything. You just use the remote to steer. There's also no obstacles on the road. You just need to get to the finishing line without crashing into any of the trees. This might sound easy, but the turning on the car is really bad. And for later levels, there's a load more turns on the road, which makes it even harder. Also, I don't understand what the point of the arrows are. I know they're there to show you where to go, but come on, it's a Wii game. You can easily see where you need to go. But whatever.
Go Diamond City!
Mona had a lot of jobs over the WarioWare series. In Smooth Moves, she promotes dumplings and is a cheerleader. And apparently she also teaches kids how to use a trawler, considering her boss game's called Trawler Training. In this boss game, you need to lead the Miis into the right bathrooms, The girls, of course, are wearing pink and go into the pink room, and then the boys wearing blue go into the boys' bathroom, which is blue. Now, the first level is fine, but in level 2, me start falling over, which completely confuses you and leads them into the wrong bathroom a lot of the time. And then me start falling from the sky in level 3, which is even more confusing. I don't really have any footage to show you because I'm bad at this game and died from like the first 3 seconds of the 3rd level, but whatever. Even though this is the 2nd level in this game, it's still really hard. We have finally done it! We have finally found a boss game in warioware Smooth Moves that has a decent name. Because this boss is called Boot Camp. So you start this boss battle by squatting under some wooden plank gate things. This might sound easy, but the motion controls in this game aren't that responsive all the time. They're pretty good, but not really for this boss battle. And then you switch forms to the elephant, and weirdly enough, this is the only boss battle in this entire game that makes you switch forms inside the boss game. And then you need to destroy the nose. But here's the thing, if you miss one shot, that can completely stuff you up. Oh, and by the way, those rocks that the nose shoots at you can kill you in one hit. That's pretty powerful. But this gets even harder on the 2nd level when they make you jump. And this is actually really hard to do. I think there's just too much end lag for this to actually work. But I don't care, it gives you a challenge. You know what, I think Jigglypuff should do this boot camp challenge. Maybe then people would actually play with her more than once. Maybe then I'll be able to stop 99 stalking her. While I'm versing a level 9 CPU and I have 0 damage. But now let's move on to the number 2 spot. Dr. Saigon had some pretty hard boss battles over the years. But his grandson Penny takes it to a whole new level. For Penny's boss battle, you need to dodge these samurai's moves. And then at the end, you chop him in half. I hear a lot of people really struggle with this boss battle, and I don't really understand why. I mean, it's hard, but it's not that hard. I have 2 theories that I think could be why people struggle so much with this boss game. One is because it's all motion control based. Because for some reason people really struggle with motion controls. Like, come on, just get good. And my second theory is that people just emulate this game and don't use a Wii remote. Well, you know what they say, piracy is no party. Well, at least that's what Mario Party DS told me. Although if Nintendo really wants me to emulate these games by making their emulator $109, maybe I should just emulate Nintendo 64 games, because the free emulators are way better than $109 emulators. And the hardest warioware Smooth Move boss game is the Wario Dance Company boss, the final boss of the game and of the mini Wario stage, is perhaps the hardest final boss in any video game that I've ever played. If you don't see how this is hard, let me tell you something. So you know the Just Dance series? Well, this is basically Just Dance, but every time you get the move wrong, you die. Well, you don't die, but still, you feel your soul died. By far the worst part about this boss is when everybody raises their hands like this, because you think the song's over, and you put your hand down and then you get told off for it. Look, maybe I'm just dumb, but there's no indication to tell you that you need to keep your arm up. And also, this boss relies heavily on motion controls. Now, the motion controls in this game are luckily very good, but you can't just wiggle the Wii remote around. You actually need to dance with the characters, because that's the easiest way to do it. And like, sure, you do that in like Wii Sports and stuff, but those are multiplayer games. This is a single player game, so random people are going to see you dancing with strange people, and it just looks weird. And you know anything can go wrong. It makes you feel like you're in the Squid Game. Yeah, this video is gonna age poorly now. But seriously, if anybody who works on the show is watching, please add this into the Squid Games, because that would just be funny. But anyway, warioware was fun, but I think I'm gonna go back to Dumb Ways to Die and forget the Wario Dance Company even exists. Well anyway, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you think WarioWare's underrated, hit that bell for notifications. And what's that? The top 10 best Super Smash Bros. DLC packs? Oh, you should definitely go and check that out to see which ones you should buy. And the top 10 dumbest Mario characters? OMG, that video is so funny. You are missing out on so much if you haven't watched it. Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering, the Dumb Ways to Die game is actually a clone of the WarioWare series. Actually pretty sure it's made by Metro, like the train company in Australia. I think that's really cool and funny. So check that game out if you want to. It's not as good as WarioWare, but it's still quite fun. But anyway, thanks for watching and bye.